often, costume designers are sort of the forgotten person. They think, oh, it's just shopping. And to have an exhibit of this magnitude of contemporary clothes is almost unheard of. So I want to thank Hulu, first off, for the support they always give me. And then, I got the call from Hulu saying, you want to put an exhibit on? And I'm like, okay. They're like, of 6 seasons of clothes. I'm like, okay. Because there's like 1,400 outfits, probably $3 million worth of clothes, and I needed to pare it down to 40 outfits. So I started with like my favorites, the ones that stood out. Mindy and I have a phenomenal working relationship that didn't start off that way because we had to understand each other. And as a costume designer, you always play a little safe because you don't want to scare anybody off the first day. And so I sort of, we did color blocks. And then one day I pulled that little outfit that's the horse shirt, which is a print with the plaid skirt and the yellow sweater, and Mindy lit up. And she's like, oh, I love that there's all this going on. And I'm like, you do? Because normally I'm told not to. And I realized that we were kindred spirits. And it took from that to just sort of this explosion of color and print and sparkle. As you can see, there's always sparkle, because Mindy and I's favorite quote in life is that sparkle makes everything better. And this is, 6 seasons of style from Mindy, and it's fun to see where we started off, and where we ended up. This purple coat is from the second episode of season 6. I found the dress underneath it is a tassel print, and I wanted to have a tassel coat, and I'm like, well, I can't find another print, but maybe I can buy a bunch of tassels and have my wonderful seamstress, Salvador Perez, sit there and hand sew them one at a time. And I took her this pile of tassels and said, I have this great idea. And she was like, great. And a day later I had this. I mean, it's just, I have great people around me. I have a great crew. And I have a great star, Mindy, who loves all of this and who lights up at every fitting. Because at this point, we do things so fast that she doesn't see the sketch or the fabric anymore. She sees the sample garment. And so far it's all been great. And so there's samplings of Mindy throughout the 6 seasons. And then, of course, on the last level, I have to have, the people in her life. So there's some Jody and Danny and Ben and whatnot.
What was that outfit that you said was the one you thought would be too many different prints that Mindy
It's the plaid skirt with a yellow cardigan. The second one on the yellow one.
Oh, got it.
And this is the Madeline dress from the end of season 4 into season 5. And again, this is quintessential what I think of when I design for Mindy. Bold blocks of color and floral. And then, of course, the buttons probably cost more than the fabric, because that's the kind of boy that I am when I'm designing. And one of the reasons I love about this is that the audience doesn't get to see the detail that we put into the clothes. And you'll never see this on camera, but Mindy sees it. And that's why I keep doing it, because although the audience never sees this, Mindy sees it, and it just makes her happy. And, it's again, she's a great collaborator. So to put that much effort and to have it appreciated and thanked every day, it just inspires us to do more. And then, I'm sometimes contrast is good, but sometimes more is better. And when you can get the Dolce & Gabbana top and the Dolce & Gabbana skirt, and then there's a matching bag. But what I didn't bring, because they're mannequins, is the matching shoes. But I love sort of that. If one is good, more is better. And there's a lot of custom. I think all of this, except for the 2 Dolce & Gabbanas, are custom made. The black crystal dress, the floral coat and dress, the yellow coat to go. And again, we'll find a dress that needs a coat, and this sort of started with coats. I couldn't find lightweight, colorful coats. We're shooting now in August in LA, and it's supposed to be Dead of Winter in New York. So all of these lightweight coats started because I needed coats from Mindy that she could actually shoot in LA in August. And again, it's just sort of grown to that. And then as we go into this room, it's my rainbow of colors on Mindy. I look back at this now, and it's funny that I thought that this was too much. Like this, at that point, going, this is too much, and now you're going to the next, like, well, that was really subtle. And this was end of season 2, when Mindy and Danny ended up on the top of the Empire State Building. It was my sort of homage to Annie Hall. Little, American Hustle was going on, and I thought the sort of 70s inspired but modern. But, and I love that I could, have the blouse made, have the tie made to match. The back of the vest is the same fabric as the tie. It's the sort of details that I love designing and Mindy appreciates so much. This was a very boxy, square mother of the bride suit that we loved the fabric, but it fit horribly. So we completely cut it apart, remade it, And there was so much fabric left over, we made her a matching bag. Again, you know, you can add more to it, why not? And then season 3, her character got pregnant. And I had to make her a pregnancy pad. And she hated the pregnancy pad. I'm like, well, this wasn't my idea. You wrote the script. And so there was a fight to get her to pregnancy pad. She hated it. And there was a couple of them. But I think I tried to do very sort of subtle. You know, it wasn't all of, I think the maternity clothes don't have to be maternity clothes. So it was my way to design within that world. And this is, again, an early episode of Mindy where Danny was noticing her running across the street. And New York is, if you walk through New York, it's a sea of black, and navy, and gray. And I really specifically, when I dressed the background that day, we kept no color on everybody, and Mindy was in this, you know, school bus yellow bus, and when she walked across the street with the little flutter of the scarf behind her, she stood out, and that, as a costume designer, I did my job. I made the actors stand out. And as we've gotten along, I mean, not only do I custom make clothes for Mindy, and her blouses are all custom made because she likes the collar a certain way, the sleeves a certain way, but I have her knits handmade. I have a woman who spends most of the season just hand knitting work. So this outfit took 2 weeks to hand knit, and I probably have 12 versions of this. There's always the Christmas party on the Mindy Project. There's this year, sadly, but I tried to mix it up so it's not always a red dress. This is the one with the wine bra, and we literally put a wine bra in there. Of course, you're supposed to fill it up with wine. On camera, we had a special effects guy off camera blow it up with air, and it was so great that it actually worked, and I got all this praise for it. I'm like, it's a $40 wine bra from Amazon. And this is again one of our Christmas dresses, and I knew that in this episode she would be wounded, and I wanted her to be like a little bird. And as I was talking to the beater about that, I'm like, because we were going to do like a sort of festive like snowflake print. I'm like, no, it's supposed to be like wings. And again, the audience can't see this, but if you look at the detail, they're feathers. They're wings stuck behind her. That's this little details that again I love putting on that. You know, I'm so glad the audience is now going to get to see. And sorry, Mindy is Indian, and I just assumed that she grew up wearing them. She's no, I think I've worn them twice in my life. And so there's a pink one up on the second floor that she was going, as for the storyline, she was going to a party with her relatives, with the family. I'm like, ooh, can we do a traditional dress? And she's like, sure, why not? And I went to Artesia to go buy saris. And again, give me anything with sparkle and I'm gonna buy 10 of them. So I bought I have lots of saris in the show. And it's really funny because now Mindy's gone with me a couple times in the store and she's bought her own because she wears them as gowns now. But again, it's sparkle color, it's Mindy 101. This dress was actually, Mindy goes with me as my date to the Costume Designers Guild Awards, and I always make her a gown. Well, this was a floor-length gown, and she loved it so much that she's like, we had a club scene the next week. She's like, let's cut off and wear it on the show, and I'm like, you want me to cut off again? But we got double use out of it. And then we had a flashback to when Mindy was her first day at work. And I thought, what would, a much younger Mindy wear to the office? And I thought, well, she'd be Barbie. And so it's literally a Barbie suit, hand beaded with pearls and crystals.
Great. I like it.
So the sketches on the wall, did you do those?
No, my illustrator, Asha Ramdeen, does them. It's funny, because to get that beautiful skin tone, Asha is Trinidadian, and when she's the first person that came in and painted, I'm like, yes, that's exactly what Mindy looks like. So I've used Asha all along.
Nice.
Asha will be here later tonight.
Cool.
Has Mindy not tried to keep any of the outfits?
She borrows them occasionally. But I think that, there's so many that it's easier to borrow from my closet than take them home to hers. I'm sure when the show's over, that'll be different. I know that she has built a big house with a big closet and it's only half full, so I'm like,
She's planning.
She's planning ahead, yes.
Well, you've dressed fake pregnant Mindy. Now dressing real pregnant Mindy. How is that different? How is it the same?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
We haven't, nothing, she doesn't show yet. We have another 4 weeks of shooting. I'm hoping to get away with it. But, I'm buying lots of stretch. So far, so good. Fingers crossed. Let's not hope I don't jinx myself.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a personal favorite?
I mean, I love this green dress just because of the manufacturing of it, but the Madeline dress and floral coat, I mean, if I was going to do a retail line, that would be in it.
Have you thought about anything special for the final episode?
Yes, she has 2 major changes that we that have established next week Friday, and I haven't even bought fabric yet. But it'll be done next Friday, ready or not.
With the show on Hulu, has your designs changed at all? Are there any different rules about what you're allowed to show? Or it's
No.
all the same?
No, I mean, we didn't really affect us much.
Yeah.
I mean, Mindy's in charge, so the budgets might have changed, but not mine.
Would you do a Mindy-inspired retail line?
Absolutely. I think that there's the reason I started building it for Mindy was because it wasn't out there, and the fan interaction has been that we want that too. I mean, and it makes sense. I can't find the colorful coats and the blouses for Mindy. Nobody else can either. 6. They go to a club.
Oh, we haven't seen this.
Yes.
Okay.
This hasn't been out there yet. But they go to a club, and Mindy asked Morgan to lay out her outfit, and he didn't like what she wore, so he had his tailor make them something. So these are like, they think it's on the video, so you get to see them on the videos. So this is, we have things that went very well together. Mindy going to the theater to see Leland Breakfast theater piece. When she dated Pastor Casey and went to church to visit him the first time. When she was getting married, and she had Tamara model for her because they were going to be the exact size and height when she got married. And it's funny, it's a sheer miniskirt. And it's so long, and even on Zosha, she's so tall, it was shorter than Zosha. And then, of course, Rhea, Annette, being very, very religious, wanted her to wear something from the God collection of wedding gowns. And it's actually a very nice linen, it was supposed to be a scratchy wool. And I thought that I would get to see Mindy in a wedding dress, and it hasn't happened yet. And this is where the men, mostly men in her life, join her. Chris Messina has $30,000 of Steve Allen shirts, and they all look exactly like that. And it's funny, when we were looking for this shirt from the continuity book, I'm like, no, it's there. And of course, his customer went and found it. Chris was a jeans and a denim shirt kind of a guy, and he wore that for as long as he's been on. That's the Danger Zone jacket that Annette stole from him. That the blue ink exploded on him. This was, again, one of those, I loved interesting prints, and to find this lemon print, which you'll see that there's also one downstairs. It's an aesthetic that we like, so I thought, can we do another lemon dress? She's like, yes, do more. Season 1, I believe. In the script, Morgan makes a vague reference to a brown corduroy tuxedo. And we read that in the script, and it was just like, oh no, it's a radio joke, don't worry about it. And then 2 days before they were going to shoot the scene, they're like, wouldn't it be funny if he actually wore it? I'm like, no, it wouldn't be funny. So they're like, no, we want him to wear it. I'm like, oh my God, when am I get a brown corduroy tuxedo? And I can't make it that fast. So God bless, we went next door to Brooks Brothers and got a brown corduroy suit, and then my cutter fitter Savor changed the buttons and added the lapel and the stripe. So Brooks Brothers suit, and then a Brooks Brothers corduroy tuxedo. And I love dresses that sort of remind me of things. This is from Thanksgiving, when she goes upstairs and borrows a dress from her best friend, who I can't remember her name, and I can't play the character. And she's like, if you're going to be a mess, be a hot mess. So it's our hot mess dress. When she met Annette for lunch, she wanted to wear a little coat dress that Danny thinks is a coat, and he starts to take it off of her, and she's wearing underwear underneath it. So this is this little metallic, it's rigged with magnets, and it comes on and off. And it's funny, because when I was pulling it, it reminded me of Fortune Feepster, who plays Colette, they wrote that she was going to propose to her girlfriend, and the writer said that she was in a white gown. So I called up Fortune, I'm like, I got to get you corset made for you to have your gown made. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. She was like, okay. And I'm like, do you not want to wear a gown? She's like, I'd rather not. I'm like, I'm going to make you a pink suit. So I went to the producers, I'm like, it's going to be a pink suit. And I love that she made she does those ice cream videos on Instagram. In the middle of shooting, now when we're done, she shot an ice cream video dancing in this. Didn't get any ice cream on. And this is just, again, when I could buy the printed coat that matches the printed jacket, and there was always a printed bag. This was from the end of season 5, Revenge of the Nurses. And then, you can't have Mindy without the rest of the world. And I love, as much as I love dressing the women on the show, the men too. I mean, and they have their style. This is Ed Week's Jeremy, and Jeremy's colors have always been blues and pinks and purples. and I sort of stuck to that. He's a peacock, and it's very fitted in English, and I just love those sort of details on him. And again, going back to the, when I can buy lots of prints, It's a Valentino sweater, skirt, and coat, and I got them each from different stores because they were at the end of the season. But I just love her in multiple prints. And Jody, when they brought Jody on, they're like, well, he's sort of conservative, he's from the South. So I added suspenders to all of his changes. And then we did it so often, they started calling him Captain Suspenders, and then it became a story point that he was Captain Suspenders. And then after a season of it, there was a story point that they gave him a makeover and took away the suspenders. So I love that little things that I sort of threw in, just as the designer who became part of the storyline. And then, of course, the end of last season, she marries Ben. And the story was that she was in a coat, and then she ripped it open to show the wedding dress off. So I wanted something that was soft and that would go with the wedding dress. Ben wasn't expecting it. And again, I magnetized the buttons so they could rip off easily. But it was a very sort of sweet dress that, it wasn't supposed to be anything special because she didn't buy a wedding dress. It was just her showing up and like, let's get married. So that's 6 seasons of Mindy.
Wow.
All the men on the show, which one of them is most particular about their costumes?
I mean, ironically, Chris Messina gives me the most grief because he's so stuck in his ways, and I have to try some stretch jeans or let's put on a burgundy shirt. But Ed and Jody will wear it when I give them.